Hello, dear students. Today's lesson is about workbook exercises. Before we go on with the exercises, that is some information about the conditional clauses we talked before together. And as you know, we actually explained the three first types of the conditional clauses: type 0, type 1, and type 2. Type 0 conditional talks about something which is always true or its law of nature. And we have if or when plus present simple. At the if clause, that is a hypothesis, and the main clause we have present simple. If or when you mix red and white, you get pink. So that is type 0 conditional. Let's go on with type 1. We have if or when plus present simple at the if clause, and we have future simple, imperative or modals, can, should, must, or may at the main clause, the result. So what is type 1 conditional? It is something real, likely to happen in the present or in the future. Let's read the sentences together. If he is late, we will go without him. If you don't feel well, call the doctor. If I finish work early, we may go to the cinema. So that is type 1 conditional. Let's talk about type 2 conditional that talks about unreal present. And at the first part of the sentence, at the if clause, we should use past simple, whereas at the main clause we have would, could, or might plus bare infinitive. What is second conditional clause? It's an imaginary situation in the present, and we also use second conditional to give advice. Let me read the sentences for you. If I had more free time, I would take up a hobby. If I were you, I wouldn't tell the truth. So, keeping in mind the information I gave you, you're going on with the exercises that we're going to read together. The first one, it's about 0 conditional. Use the phrases to make sentences. So we have the phrases here, and we have to form 5 sentences. Let's read the first one. If you put sugar in tea, it tastes sweet. These are the words we used to form the sentence. Let's pass to the second one. We have water boil at 100 degrees Celsius, it evaporate. If water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, it evaporates. Let's go on with the third one. We have air be hot and eat rice. How can we form the sentence by using the 0 conditional? If air is hot, it rises. Water freeze, it turn into ice. If water freezes, it turns into ice. You mix blue and red, you get purple. If you mix blue and red, you get purple. If you notice at the sentences, we used the present simple in both parts of the sentence. So we have present simple at the if clause and present simple at the main clause. Let's go on with the first conditional. You have to circle the correct answer, and you have the first part of the sentence, and then you have 2 versions to fill in the sentence. You have A and B. You have to choose the right one. Let's go on with the first one. If you leave your bag here, they will steal your wallet. So that is the right version of the first one. If the police catch the robber, they will put him in prison. That is the right version of the sentence. If you work hard, they will give you a pay rise. If they don't stop bullying him, I will tell the teacher. We will be on time if we leave now. If we don't report the burglary, the burglars won't get caught. So that is the right version of the sentence. Let's go on with the second conditional. We have to complete the following exchanges with the correct form of the verbs. So we have 4 exchanges here, and we have A and B, but be careful with the correct form of the verbs given here in the exercise. So we have 6 situations. Let's read the first one. Karen, what would you do if you found a wallet? If I found a wallet, I would take it to the police. I really need to go on holiday, but I don't have enough money. If your parents gave you the money, you would be able to go. What would you do if you saw someone breaking into your neighbor's house? If I saw someone breaking into my neighbor's house, I would call the police immediately. I never have enough money. If you were more careful with your spending, you would have more money. So have a look at the verbs. We completed the sentences here. Be careful, we are talking about the second conditional. So, as we talked before, at the first part, we actually use the past simple of the verb, and at the second part, we actually use would plus bare infinitive. Let's go on with the 5th version. Oh no, we are lost in the jungle. If we build a campfire, our guide would see the smoke. Why is he not doing well in school? Because he doesn't a lot. If he studied more, he would do well in school. So that is the right version to fill in the sentences at this exercise, but keeping in mind that we use the second conditional clause. Let's go on with some extra practice. You have to circle the correct item, and we have 8 sentences given here, but be careful, we have mixed conditional here, so we have 0 conditional, 1 conditional, and second conditional, but be careful by reading the sentences. So let's go on with the first one. He will go to prison if he steals or would steal a car. If he steals, we are referring to what? To the first conditional, conditional 1. I would volunteer at the shelter if I had the time. We have the second conditional here. If you don't call the police, the robbers will get away. We have the first conditional, conditional 1. If I were rich, I would help you. We have conditional 2. I would call the police if I saw a burglar break into a house. We actually again have conditional 2. If it is an emergency, you will call 999. That is 1 conditional, conditional 1. If she was more careful with her things, she wouldn't lose them. That is second conditional. They will help deliver leaflets if they have time this weekend. So we have the first conditional, conditional 1. So that is the way you should fill the exercise, by choosing one of the verbs given at the sentences. Now, we have some sentences to complete, and you have to complete them by your own, by keeping in mind the first part of the sentence that begins with if. So we have the if part of the clause. What should we include here? We we have the main clause to complete all the sentence. So let's read them one by one. If I pass my exams, I will go on holiday abroad. If it stops raining, we will go for a walk. If I had a headache, I would take a painkiller. If my friends had a problem, I would help them. If I play well, I will win the tournament. So, you see, we have conditional 1 and conditional 2 included in these sentences. So, what should you do at home for next time? As a homework, you are going to write 9 sentences using 0 conditional, first conditional, and second conditional. Be careful with the punctuation. Keep in mind all the information you have now, including 0 conditional, 1 conditional, and the second conditional. So, that is all for today, and I want to thank you for your attention. See you next time. Goodbye.